Hello, it's Leslie here. Today I wanted to talk about disc brakes and my preferred brands and why I prefer them. Most of my brakes are actually quite old, uh, but I'll explain what happened to me. So I bought a set of Avid Code 5 brakes from about 10 years ago, and I thought these are pretty good, and they were one of the first four piston brakes around, and I was really happy with them. At that time I was living in Tenerife, and I tried some downhill with them, so they were fantastic brakes, and I thought these are going to last me. Anyway, when I came back to Australia, I hadn't used my downhill bike for a few years because due to injury mainly, and I was pretty horrified. One day I went to check out my bike. I hadn't used it in a few years, and the brakes, even though I hadn't used them very much, they were completely corroded. Well, no, that's not true. They weren't completely corroded. They were showing signs of corrosion over them, and it's because they have the dot fluid, the whatever number it is, and so that's corrosive towards paint. I don't think it's so bad if you have Hope brakes because they're anodized or whatever. But I had the Avid codes, and I was really actually quite disappointed because I really like those brakes. I like the look of them. Often I like the look of old parts better than modern parts, and I know that's kind of a strange thing that I'm talking about the looks of something, but for me that's very important how things look. I don't know why. I've been looking at things with the eyes of a product designer for a while, and I don't know, I just like to have things that I think are aesthetically pleasing. So I got rid of my Avid Code brakes. I sold them on eBay at a massive loss, and I bought a set of Magura Trail Sport brakes, which are four piston on the front and twin piston on the rear. And I'm happy with those. I think they're more ergonomic. I like the look of them. Uh, they work well. The thing is, I'm only going to buy brakes from now on with mineral oil in them. I'm not gonna. I originally wanted to try out a set of Hope brakes or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. I had this horrible experience of having this corrosion problem. What happened is the dot fluid, I think, absorbed water, and then uh, over time, and then it compressed and leaked out or something out of the system after not being used. Because what happened was you couldn't turn the wheels of the bike anymore. The brakes were locked solid. So I think what happened is water got in with humidity and condensation, whatever. I don't know how it happened, but that's the other thing. I couldn't just pick up the bike and have it working. Whereas the other bikes that had Shimano on them, one bike has the older Shimano SLX, and the other bike has the older style Saint levers. They didn't lock up; they were fine. So, you know, I'm not one of those riders. It doesn't look like I'm going to be one of those riders that's riding every single day. I recently had quite a long break, a few months off while I was working on other projects. So it's nice to be able to come back to a bike and not have it not working. Like it's got a, it's, it, I don't like it when I have a bike that just because it's been sitting there a few months, weeks, whatever, all of a sudden something's wrong with it. If I've paid $4,000 for a bike, it's got to work when I want it to work, you know. So I won't be buying any more Avid, and I won't even try Hope brakes. I originally started on Hayes brakes, and the same thing. The first disc brakes I had, I think, were Hayes. They use dot fluid as well, but anyway, the modern Shimano brakes, I don't like the looks of the levers anymore. I think they look stupid. The levers, the pistons look like the calipers look good, but from my perspective, um, design wise, I can't say that I like the modern lever. Any of them, anything from Dior, whatever, XT, XTR, any of them. I think the styling's a little bit not right for what I like. I like the. It's kind of like you've got the lever portion and then you've got the reservoir, and it's not, to me. It's not really. Anyway, so if I had to buy brakes from now on, like for all my bikes now, it'd be Magura. And there's only one thing I don't like about the Magura brakes, and that is the bolts, the cinch. Are they called cinch? The clamp bolts that hold the levers to the bar. If you undo the screws, you find out they are like self-tapping screws of all things. So I don't think self-tapping screws belong on. They don't belong in the cycling world. You know, I'd like to see them use proper metric. What is it? Is it metric? Machine screws? I forget the terminology. So I was going to undo the bolts and change them for stainless steel ones because I'm sick of seeing corrosion everywhere. But I couldn't do that. So that's one thing that bothers me about the Magura brakes, but it's not enough to stop me. Like I put up with it, but it's not enough to stop me not liking them, not having them. But even so, self-tapping screws, it doesn't seem very high quality. I would like to see them have inserts. Then if they can't make a metric thread, I'm sure there's some other way of doing it rather than having self-tapping screws. I mean, you can even buy fiber reinforced polymer screws with a machine thread on them, so it doesn't make any sense. But so that's the reason why I've gone from Hayes and Avid over to Shimano and ultimately Magura. Pretty much the ergonomics, I like the ergonomics better of them, and as I said, they use mineral oil, so they don't seem to absorb water as much. They're not, what is it called, not hydrophilic or something, hydroscopic, whatever. They just seem to work if you left your bike for a period of time, and there's no corrosion. So that's what I like. I'm just using, as I said, the Magura Trail Sport. I think they're good value for money. That's what I've gone with. I don't really like how certain brands keep changing the style of brake pads. That annoys me. With Shimano, they've changed it again, and anyway, that's what I wanted to say today. Is if I can recommend something, I don't long term. If you're one of those people that doesn't like lots of maintenance, I would stay away from any brakes that use dot fluid and just stick with mineral oil. I haven't had a problem with them overheating, and as I say, I used to live in Tenerife, and there's some pretty gnarly descents there. Even so, if you're having problems with overheating, better to just get bigger discs or something. So, yeah. Alright, well, yeah, that's all I have to say today. I got a bit drenched today on my ride today. I got soaking wet like a drowned rat coming home. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.